Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for your consistency so far. This class should have been held last week, but due to the fact that the majority of us were not available, so we had to reschedule to today. So, and this last class is very important within the scope of what we are learning as far as data analysis is concerned. So that's the more reason why we can't just afford not to have this class, in the course of this training. So, Bro Emmanuel will be taking us through some important section, and as you can see, it's been recorded. So you can always make reference to this class just as you have access to every other classes. Immediately after this class, in the course of the week, we'll all get our certificate of participation or probably achievements for this particular session. And if you now have any further mentorship requests, of course, Bro Emmanuel's email is on that communication I make to us every Sunday. So you can always reach out to him for further guide in the course of you utilizing these skills on your job. So there's so much in data analysis. I encourage us to perfect this skill. There's so much in this space, and opportunities on a daily, weekly basis are coming out. And even as a business owner, as a customer service lead, as an accountant, as an administrator, as an HR, most of the job functions in this age and time requires data analytics, as a core skill because of the age we are in presently. So I just want to use this medium to encourage us once again to take this serious, to perfect this skill, and maximize about 5 weeks we have invested, to acquire this. Thank you so much, everyone. And Bro Emmanuel, of course, as I earlier said, we are planning something bigger than this. So thank you for your consistency as well, and for the impact you have made. Thank you so much. So you have the floor, Bro Emmanuel. You have the floor. So
in case, thank you so much, sir.
In case I log out, I will join back because I have another meeting by 7. So, but I'll join back afterwards.
Okay.
In case you did not see me, you can just proceed. I'll join before the end of the class. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, just to quickly also mention, good evening, everyone. I also have a meeting at 7. I'll log off and then join back if I meet up with the rest of the class.
Okay, sir.
All right,
okay.
That's fine. That's fine. Sir, can you just make me so I can share my screen? Hi, good evening, everyone. Hope you're enjoying the week. Hope you enjoyed your last week, and we couldn't have this last week because of many were not available, and I thought it to myself as a sense of responsibility to make sure that we postpone the class to this week because of at some point in time also I requested that we shift the class forward. So I felt like I owe people that. So without further ado, like I said, if we wanted to complete SQL, the last class, I don't want us to just join and move on. I believe that is also necessary. So this is week 4. Just to do this, just to be official, and data visualization. But before then, let's do before probably Bawali, Pastor, my screen is first. Before Pastor Bamdele joins his own meeting, let's finish the SQL we started the last time. And I hope for those people who are not in class, you're able to catch up with the video of SQL. Very, very, very explanatory and something you can follow through. So today, I want us to join. So we won't be using. I want us to follow through. So we won't be using SQL Server. We'll be using something online, and I hope you are connected with your system and are connected to the internet. So I would love that you sharing my screen now. Give me some minutes. Let me remove this out. So I love that we just go to Google. Let me share my old screen. So we go to Google. So now, I want us to follow. So there's a site that has they have data loaded in their database, so you don't need to upload any data like we did the last time, and you can follow through. So just go to your Google Chrome. You can just search for ModeSQL, and please, I need the feedback so I can know that we are following. I make sure I wanted us to do this with an online platform so that everybody can follow. You don't need to download any SQL. Just go to Google ModeSQL. ModeSQL. Then you click on ModeSQL. So today, before we go to data visualization, just wanted to do basic. Basic. You want to do join. Join is a very key thing, because when you work in SQL, you'll be working with a lot of you'll be working with a lot of tables. No, I don't want this. So go to their products, click on SQL Online SQL Editor. Again, go to their product, SQL Editor. I hope you're following. I hope we are doing this.
Yes, yes.
Okay, good one. Let me see if we need to sign up, or we can just request demo something. So I'm requesting demo. I don't want us to go to the route of signing up and the rest. Still have to sign up. So let's do your sign up thing. I already have an account. Or I just sign up. So I didn't want to go to the sign up. Okay. So you can just do the sign up thing. I already have an account here. So I don't want to sign up again. Sorry. Okay. So let's see. So okay, what you just do for me? Okay, because I already have an account, you just log me in immediately. So what you do is, please just do a sign up. Let me just give you about 5 minutes to just sign up. And when you sign up, this should be your interface. You should have this kind of interface when you sign up, actually. So have you done that? Have you signed up? And what interface do you have so that I can? Feedback. I don't want to just go on. I want us to practice this together. So have we signed up? Are you experiencing any issue, or yeah with me?
I'm still trying to sign up. My system is slow.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I just want to make sure that we are on the same page. So you can also use, for some of the things we've learned, probably you couldn't install the SQL Server the last time. This is a place where you can also learn SQL, and you can practice some of the things we did in the last video. Or further still, they also have trainings here. Also, you can take. So the advantage of this is that you don't need data. Data are already stored into their database. The only thing you just query out the data, but you need to. Why it took you to process having to create a database the last time was that you might need it actually. But most times, most companies have their data already in their database. All you just need to do is just query out the data actually. And some of these things are connected to the new cloud, AWS, Azure, and all that. So all right. So when you let's kickstart so that we don't waste too much of our time, because this is not exactly what we are doing today. When you sign up, you can just, you should have this interface, or let me go back. I think this is the normal interface. I want to see if I'm having, let's see the interfaces you have. Okay, you should have this interface actually. When you sign up, this should be your interface actually. So you can just create a new report. This plus here, create a new report, creating a new report. All right. So you can see when you create a new report, it brings out an interface, a query interface. Select from. So again, let me go back so that peradventure you sign up and you know how to. So this should be an interface you see when you sign up. Then you just click on this plus sign up a new report. When you click on the new report, it brings out your query interface, which is something like this. So all what you see on this side, they are just data you can query from. Yeah, data you can query from actually, but so that's that. So we don't waste our time. We are still going to be using the same data. So as you go on, just follow me up. Okay, good one. Training. All right. So let's kickstart. These are tables. Let's remove this limit area. So select from, like we explained in the last class, select star means select from everything in this table, bring out all the whole column in this table. So now we have this table, so when you open your interface, select from the SQL.salesrep is still the same data, like those data are there. So just, you can, there where I can zoom this out so that you can see this. Okay, good one. So select from, look at this SQL challenge 1.salesrep. That's exactly what you should have. You see it here. You can just search here, search SQL dot challenge. You can see it here. This is it here. So the data is already there when you have the interface. And if there's any issue while we are still here, please reach out. So I don't want us to waste too much of our time because we're having data visualization today, not SQL. So I just want to take us to the table. So SQL, select from this. I already taught this in the last class. You highlight it. So this will give you everything from this table. Okay. Okay. So this table is giving you the sales rep ID, the name of the sales rep, and the region. And the region ID, that's what this table is giving you. Let's go to the region ID. Let's go to the region table. This is a table on its own. This is another table. So we're having 4 tables. Internet is kind of slow. Okay, so this is the region table. This is the region table. As you can see, ID name just gives you the ID and the name of the region. The order table, that means this is the total order that was ordered actually. Okay. All right. So this is the other table, and this is the account table. Let's move on. So how do you join? These are 4 tables. The SQL sales rep is a table, the region is a table, order is a table, and account is a table. Let's assume now that we really want to join this table together. There are various ways you can join. There's the inner join. Let me write it here so you can see there's the inner join. There's a left join. There are a lot of join. That's okay for me. There's a left join. So if you see anybody having issues in SQL, most times they're having issues with join actually. More like that's a complex of SQL to some extent. And there's a right join. There's a lot of join. There's a right join. There's also the outer join. There's the outer join, and There's union, all, but the core join you'll be using most times is inner join and left join. And I'll explain. You can also use right join, but I'll explain why most people don't use right join. So what is inner join? Inner join is saying that, let me see if I can use, maybe I'm trying to see if I can use the whiteboard annotation. Okay, let me see if I can do annotation. Okay, inner join. Inner join means that if there's a table, this is a table here. This is a table, the circle represents a table, this is another table. So when you're talking about when you use inner join will bring out the similarity between the table. That is what is the same between what is inside this table and inside this table. Inner join will bring them out. That's inner join. I hope you understand that. Let me clear this out. Clear join. So let me explain again. If this circle is a table, this circle is another table. When you use inner join will bring out what is in this table and what is in this table. That means what is in this table. So if this table has 1, 2, 3, and this table has 3, 4, 5. When you use inner join will bring out only the 3, because 3 is the common thing that has 3 is what is common between this table. This table has 3, so that's why inner join. I hope you understand that. Do you understand that? These are some of the complex things you understand. Or do I take that again? I think that feedback. Let me take, if you need to take that again. So this table has 1, 2, 4. And another table has 4, 5, 6. So when you use the inner join, which is you want to use inner join to join these two tables, the result you're going to get is 4, because 4 is the only common thing between these two tables. I think that's explanatory. Let's move on. Left join. Left join is saying that, so this is a table that has 1, it contains 1, 2, 3. This is another table that contains 3, 4, 5. So when I use a left join, what comes out is, when I use a left join, this is a left table. Note this is a left table. The table is in the left. This is the table in the right. When I use left join, my result will be 1, 2, 3, and 3. Let's use 3. Which means that left join will bring out the table, all the old figures in the right, in the left table, and what joins it. Let me clean this. So this is what left join will do. When we use inner join, it brings out what is in the middle. When you use left join, it will bring out everything in this table and what is in the middle. If this table has 1 and 2, and the middle is 3, and this is 4, and this is 5. When you use left join, it brings out everything in the left table, which is 1, 2, and what is in between them, 3. Hope you got that. I need feedback if you got that, if I need to explain that again. Did you get that?
I got that.
All right, good one. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, so same thing goes for right join. Right join would bring out everything in the right table, which means that if this has 1, 2, and this has 3, 4, and they both have 5. 5 is common there. When you use the right join will bring out 1, everything in the right table, 2, and no, let's not do that. Okay, let me try clear. Okay, this will be 2. Don't mind my annotation, and 5. So right join will bring out everything in the right table and what they have in common actually. So let's move on. I hope that is clear enough. So let's do a practical learning. Clear our table, stop annotation. All right, good one. So let's do a practical example. Let's have our first table. And note, just like when you're using XLOOKUP that we taught in Excel, the same thing with SQL. you must have something that is common between these two tables. There must be a column that connects the two tables together. So you can't join a table that has nothing that connects them. You can't join a table. So there must be a column that connects two tables together, and that's what we call data modeling, where you're trying to connect two tables together using what connects them together. So let's go on. Let's use let's do so we don't waste our time. Select. So let's check the other table. This is the other table. Let's join the other table to the accounts table. But let's just understand it. Let's understand this table first. Yeah, let's use a simpler example so that let's start from the simple to the complex. Let's cancel this. My network is kind of slow itself. So let's use a sales rep. Let's look at the sales rep table. Like the name is explanatory, just the name of sales rep that we have in the company. Sorry, the internet is still running. Okay, so this is giving us, look at this sales rep table. There's a sales rep ID. What you can do is to identify the ID, the name and the region ID. That means from looking at this now, you can see that this region ID connects this sales table to the region ID, connects this table, this sales rep table to the region table. Let's see the region table itself. All right. You can see the region ID. That means that this column is the same thing with the column in sales rep. So that means this is what connects these two tables. So let's now join the table now. This table has, this sales rep table does not have the name of the region. You just have the ID. So now we want to bring out the name. We want to bring out the name of each region using what connects these two tables together. Let's get started. Select, let's type ourselves so that we don't get too lazy. Select everything. No, select everything from the sales rep table. Just copy some sales rep table. Inner join. So okay, I'll explain that. Inner join the second table you want to join, which is the region table. When I type it finish, I will explain. Inner join this. Let's remove this away. Inner join the second table on. So what connect these two tables together? On. Where's my on? On this table, sales rep, copying this, you see there's a base to it, but let's just do the hard way first. Dot. What's the colon? Don't worry, I'll type it down and explain it. I look so, I'll explain it. Okay, region ID. Region underscore ID is equals to the second table. Dot. What's the table? No. Don't I will explain the thing. Dot ID. Okay. Dot ID. So let's see what we got here. Okay, let me put it down. So you can understand it very well. Let's see what we got. All right, good one. Okay, so let me explain what I did here. So I joined these two tables. So how do I join it? Select all. Start is like you're selecting everything from the first table, which is regarded as the left table. The first table is the left table because sometimes people get confused. Left table. This is the first table, which is the sales scape. These are first from this table. You now join the second table. This is the second table, which we can say is the right table. What I don't want to use right because it can confuse you, but just know that the first table you type is the left, the second one is the right. So this is the first. Let me just do first table. Like I told you that if you want to comment, double apostrophes for you to comment. First table. This is the first table. This is the second table. Second table. So select everything from this first table. You now join this second table. So it's not saying, okay, how do you want me to join these two tables you've mentioned now? And I'm not saying that, okay. On the first table, the column that connects the two of them together. So the column that connects this sales rep to this first table to this second table is, for the first table is region.id. For the second table is ID. Do you get that? Let's look at this table again, the first table. I want you to, this is when I get call of SQL. That's I don't want to just jump it and just go to data visualization. We can move very fast with data visualization. So look at this first table, region ID. So this region ID is what connects with this table. This is the table, this is the first table, this is the second table. It's loading. Okay. This is the region ID. This is what connects these two. This is what connects region ID. So it's now saying that select from inner join these two tables using what connects two of them together. What connects them together is the region ID. So you now say on the table name, this is the table name, dot the colon that connects them is equals to the second table name dot the colon. I hope that is understandable. Let's go on. Let's do another example so that it can clear. Let's use another table. Let's use another table. Let's use the other table and account table. Look at the other table. Let's select off from so we want to join these two tables now. We've used the first example. Let's use another example. This is the other table. Like gives us the outings, the order and everything. But note this account ID. This account ID connects this table, this other table to this account table. So sometimes is ID that kind of connect these two together, and they're like primary key or something that connects the table together. So this account, look at this account ID on the account table. The account ID on this table one. Let me call it table one. The account ID, which is a column here, connects these two together. So when I want to join these two together, I look for what connects them first. So I know that for this is the column is account ID. For this second table, table one, let me use table one so I can understand table two. So before I join any two tables, I ask myself what connects these two tables together. For this one, for what connects these two tables together, this column for the first table, the column is account ID. For the second column is ID. So now let me now connect, join the two tables together. Select everything. Start use like you're saying yesterday, everything from all my first table, SQL.order. That's the name of the table. That's just the name. Your name of the table can be anything. Inner join, instead of you can just write join. Join and inner join is the same thing. So you can just write join the second table You can see how we are doing it now, step by step. The first table, the second table. So what am I going to join it on? What connects the two together? On the first table, look at on the first table, dot the colon. Note what I used. Dot, the first dot, the colon. What colon is that? We called the colon was account ID. Dot. So what is the account ID here? Other ID. Okay. So let me look at the name again of the column that joins two of them together. Okay, account ID. On the table name dot account ID. Account underscore ID is equals to the second table. The second table dot ID. So what will happen is that this will bring out this is what happens. This will bring out everything in these two tables. Account ID. This is a table from the other table, and this is a table from the account table. It brought out everything in these two tables. Let's confirm it. This is our first table. Let's count the column we have in our first table. Let's use the column to count. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So our first table has 11 columns. Let's check our second table. So we now see when we join them together, how many columns do we have? Let's say our second table. Our second table has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 tables. So let's now count. When we join the two of them together, let's count how many columns do we have when we join both tables together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I missed something there, but let's go. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You can see that it brought out all the whole column. That on that. Again, let's do something next, because what we are doing for these two examples we have done is that we are selecting all. Let's now select specific, because you can also do that. You can select, okay, I want to see, let's see. Let's now run a proper, like we're trying to solve for a company now. Let's check, let's see the other table again. Okay, this is a quantity. Okay. Let's go to account. Let's see what we have in our account. Let's do a proper query. So, okay. So I want to see how much Walmart. Look at this in our account table. I want to see how much Walmart ordered. I want to see how much Walmart ordered. The quantity of, or let's use, okay, I want to see how much Walmart ordered. Look at this table. This table does not have any order. It's just the name and the ID and the rest. So this table has the order. So how do we connect these two tables now? Let me come in. Let me bring these two together so that we can see which one, what we can do, proper code we can do. I hope you're understanding the join. The join can be kind of complicated, but just a little time you'll see. So let's just use Walmart. Let's see how much we ordered in Walmart. Select select. Okay, should I take? Okay, select the website. So website is in the account. No, the name. Name is in the account table. Note what I'm doing. Let's just follow me a step. And name is in this account table. Name is in this table. Okay, what do I want again? Let me just say the name. Select name. Let's see what we can. This is the account table. Let's open the other table and let's see. I'm going to remove one column from each table. Okay, what's happening? Select one. Okay. So name is from this table. The standard quantity. Okay, let's take the standard quantity. You can see now we are taking two different columns from two different tables. One column from different table. Standard quantity. Okay. These two things are from two different tables. The name and standard quantity. Okay, so how do we get it now? From the same thing we did from the first, this is the other table. We copy. This is the first table. Join, because these two columns are from two different tables, you need to bring it out from the two different tables. Join from this table, the second table, copy. And so what connects these two tables together is still the same thing. On the table name, note how I'm joining them, the table name dot the column that join them together. So the column is account dot underscore ID is equals to the second table name. Anything can be the name. Don't get carried away with the long name. Anything can be the name of the table is equals to dot ID, which is the name of the column that joins together. So okay, sorry about that. Okay, it's after 10, so we need to move on to what we have for today. But this is very important. All right, good one. So look at what happened now. This name is from this account table. This standard quantity is from this table. So say I will brought out two different columns from two different tables using what connect them to join them. So that's join. That's more like the core of join actually. So if there's any question, please let me so I don't just run on and go on to the next thing. Is there any question? What do you need to clarify? This is the basis of join actually. If you are joining, you can join 3 different tables, 4 different tables, and this is the same thing you would do. From if you have to join table 1, join. So if I'm to join another table now, I just again join another table on what connects the table together. That's the same thing. I can join like 4 or 5 tables together actually. So is there any question before I move on to what we have today? I know this is just a short introduction to join, but I felt it's necessary before we move on to what we have today. Any question? Okay. There are just 2 in the class. Okay, so let's move on since probably we lost some of our students in class. So let's move on. So you can try your hands on join and then see what you can do. Thank God this is an online. You can just is online actually. So just Google SQL.mode, create a new report and try your hands on this thing. The data is already loaded into the site. So let's move on to what we actually have today. Today is data visualization. So and what you can also do is download. What you can do is download Power Query. So you download Power Query How do you download the file? Just Google download. Sorry, I said Power Query, Power BI. Download Power BI. Power BI. So you just Google download Power BI. So you click on the first interface. So and download Power BI. So Microsoft Power BI desktop download. Yes, I want you to download it here. So if you want it to open Microsoft Store, you can open Microsoft Store and download it there. It's actually free. You can just still loading. So when you download, you will have an interface like this. Let me put this out. This is it loading. So when you download, you have something like this on your desktop. You have something like this on your desktop, Power BI desktop. So you just click on it, open it. You open it. Okay, still loading. Yep. Still loading. Okay. All right. So this is what you will have actually. So it's going to tell you that, okay, what data do you want to work with? Get data, the data you want to visualize, or if you have done anything recently. So let's say get data, I want to get the data we want to visualize actually. So it's connected as much as there are many interfaces you can connect it with. CSV, Excel, SharePoint, Access database, a lot of database actually. So because we want to use an Excel workbook, connect. All right. So we are using the data called call center data. So we want to design a dashboard for a call center. We want to design a dashboard for a call center. So they're giving us a data. We want to visualize everything they've done. We want to visualize that data for the line manager of the department, the call center department. So that's why we are using the data. We open. Okay, still loading. So you have your data here. So it shows the whole sheet inside the Excel file. We just have only one sheet and we click it. So there are two options here. You can load it directly into Power BI or you can work on the data using Power Query. So let's just check the interface of Power Query. Want to transform the data. Probably your data is not clean. You need to clean it, or you need to do some rough editing on your data. So you bring it to Power Query. You don't just load it. You saw the option we have there. We had two options of load or transform. So we chose transform. Transform, when you click on transform, it brings you down to Power Query where you can work on your data. Power Query is another lesson on its own for you to learn how to manipulate data with Power Query. So we can see there our data is clean. We don't need to do anything here. We don't need to do anything here. Our data is clean. Data given to us is clean. It's clean. It's clean. There's some blank spaces there, but they're actually necessary for what we are doing, for what we are going to do. So when you say that your data is clean, you don't need to do anything to it. You just close and apply. That means this will load it into the Power BI desktop. So, okay, what's happening? Okay, yeah, he's still loading. Sorry, I didn't want to say this. He's still loading the data in. Still loading the data in. All right, good one. So loaded. You would see. Okay, good one. So this has loaded our data. As you can see here, the name of it is just sheets. So let me just take you through a little bit of the interface of Power BI. So this is the home. You have where you can get your data, your data set. If you're getting data from SQL, this is how you connect it to a SQL server and transform data. This is if you want to go back to the Power Query, we loaded it inside before. Probably you need to still do some editing. You forgot to do some editing, you would transform the data. So it takes you back to the Power Query actually. So this is an interface. This is a place that shows you the report you want to design. This place shows you the table itself. This is the table we loaded in. This is an interface that shows you the data, the table itself. And this third one shows you probably have 2 or 3 tables. This is what we call the model. How do you connect these 2 tables or 3 tables together? So what's the connection like? This shows you how connected. That means if you have 2 different tables, how is this thing connected? So this one shows you the data model area. So you can just play around it, but we are trying to design a dashboard actually. So all good and fine. Okay, so but this is okay. Let me just run through the interface. So this place shows the different chart formats you can use to visualize your data. This is stack bar chart, stack column, a donut chart, and so much a table, and there's just so much charts here you can use to visualize your data. This is the interface, and this more like where you edit some of the charts you visualize. But you see I will walk through other part as we go on actually. So let's kickstart. Let me see if okay. Good one. So let's kickstart. So before you say you want to design a report or a dashboard, the first thing you must do is that you must sit down and take a pen, take a sheet, and do a layout on how you want to see your data, how you want the dashboard to look like. So it's not appropriate that it's when you come to the Power BI, you start thinking that I'll put this here, I'll put this here, I'll put this here. No, before you even think about it, you look at the data given to you, you look at what can you get through this data, or you look at what does the stakeholder, your line manager you want to do a report to, what does he want, what are the key things you want to see, so that you're not just designing data to fit your own personnel, you're designing data to fit the line manager who has requested that you visualize the data actually. So okay, 1 minute. I need to stop this share. Okay, so I share again. Share. Okay, good one. So like I said, you must have sat down and thought through about how you want your dashboard to look like. Take a pen of paper and design how we want our dashboard to look like. Another thing also you must note is that for you to really get a good or a advanced dashboard, you must know DAX. You might not know the whole core of DAX. You might not know everything about DAX, but one thing you must know the basic of DAX. DAX is just data analysis language, and we'll be doing a little bit of some DAX here to to better give us a good visualization or to better calculate what we want our general manager to see. Okay. I hope you are you're following through. Okay. So again, like I was saying, you must know that, and in that, let me bring out let me bring out the table. Look at this table now. Look at this table. So this is a column, like we all know, this is a column. This is showing us the topic. This is showing us the call ID, the agent that picked the call, the date of the call, the timing, the issue. What's the issue? Is it a technical support issue? If the call was answered or not, if it was resolved or not, the speed of answer, the average talk duration time. So what's the rating after the call? What was the rating of the customer actually? So these are columns. So in DAX, which is data analysis language, you have something called calculated columns. So now I can calculate, I can do another column here and calculate a new column. I can say, okay, I want to use an example. There are no numbers here. If there's a number here, I can say, okay, I want you to add this column together and these two together and bring it as a new column, actually. So that's, you can do that. It's called calculated columns. So I can say new columns. Look at it, brought out new columns. So I can now say that, okay, what is the column? What do I want to get in this my new column? If it's probably we have I'm just using an example out of if this was sales, and this was profit, this was sales. If this was sales and this was cost, so for us to get our profit, cost minus profit. So we cannot say, okay, I'm going to do a new column, and say this cost. Like I said, this is just an assumption example. So I can now say the column that carry the cost, the column that carry the cost minus the column that carry the sales. That will give me my profit for each, assuming this is a customer, for each customer. So this is calculated. That means the column was not among the data I loaded into Power BI. I just calculated it. So for that, there's what they call calculated columns. There's what they call calculated table. I can start a new table. I can calculate for a new table, but most times this calculated table is just mostly used for date. That's if you want to, if you're doing a very, very complex visualization and you need complex data. An example of complex data is that probably you work in an organization where their new year starts from June. It's not a typical calendar, so you need to start calculating the whole financial year from June to the next June. So you might need a new table to do that kind of date calculation. So you can do a new column, which means that you're adding a new column, which can be a calculation or which can be something you write itself, or calculated table. You can do a new table on its own, a new table. And this is called calculated measure, which is what we'll be using in this visualization. Calculated measure. Calculated measure is more like saying is like saying that a calculated measure is like doing an aggregate form. Okay, let's remove this column. There's nothing. Okay, it has been removed actually. So calculated measure is more like an aggregate, more like the example I gave the other time. Like if I want to see if this was like the total sales and I want to calculate what is the total sales, I want to get the total sales. What I will just do is I'll calculate a new measure and we'll be doing it in our visualization. But before then, I want us to understand we'll be doing calculated measures very well and you will understand very well the calculated measure. So the first thing, like I said, you must have sat down, design your dashboard the way you want it to look like, the way it meets the needs of your stakeholder, of your manager. And so you are not just coming to the child to do something. So let's kickstart. Again, this is our call center data. We are given a call center data So we are giving a call center data actually. So we have the call ID. That's what's identify the call, the agent, the date, the time, the topic, what issue, if it was answered or no, or yes or no, if it was resolved, the speed of the answer in seconds, the average duration, the satisfaction rating. Okay, so we've already sat down, we've designed how we want our dashboard to look like. The first thing we want to do is at least we want to get the total calls. How many people called us? How many people called us? That's the total calls we want to get. How many people truly called into within the duration, between the time we got the data. I'm sorry, give me a minute, my system is hanging up. Okay, so okay, good one. Sorry about that. So the first thing at least we will need to get is let's do a design of our dashboard. Again, because it's a service dashboard, you can just insert a box, a text box, and say you can insert a text box. And so when we start our design, we said, okay, we want call it customer care call center dashboard. Dashboard. So we can edit this. Let's increase. So increase the size. Just increase the size. I'd like to increase the size. Okay. So this can be too big. Let's take it to 32. Increase the size. Can we change? I think this is fine. Call center dashboard. You can look at for this field. Okay, I didn't show you this dashboard. So there are 3 fields here. This one shows the data you have and the columns you have in the data. This shows this one like the formats for everything you click on. This shows how you can edit it. If you click on the visualization, this format place shows how you can better work on whatever you click on. Like I click on this text box now. This shows me how I can edit the text box. The third one is a filter. Filter means that I can filter this whole page, filter this page, or I can filter if I have like 10 pages. I can filter the whole 10 pages using a criteria actually. So that's a filter. That's that dashboard. That's what that is used for. So let's do a little bit of filter for this one. Let's see if you can give it a good background. Which background can we use? All right, call center column. So be careful of colors. You must be conservative with colors actually. You must be conservative with colors. Don't mess up things with color. If you're using one, just at least in your when you're designing your dashboard, at most 2 to 3 colors. Anything after 3 colors, yeah, it's already getting out of hand actually. It's just colors, and also be aware of colorblind people because some colors. So we're not going to do I'm not going to do a lot of too much of work on too much of design. So basically we are just doing, okay, this is our head, this is our the header of our dashboard. This is the header of our dashboard. Hope I'm still sharing my screen. Yes, this is the header of our dashboard. That's what we are saying. So, like I said, we've gotten our header. So we want to do a summary. What's the total calls we had? How many of them did we answer? How many of them did we resolve? How many didn't we resolve? How many did we not answer? That's more like just giving a quick overview. So if I'm to submit this to my call center manager, that's just giving an overview of, okay, we had so blah, blah, blah number of calls. We answered just this. What's the percentage? And how many did we resolve out of the calls we answered? How many did we not resolve? How many calls were unanswered? So that kind of give you one of the attributes of a good dashboard is that people can easily get feedback from just seeing it at first glance. So immediately I see the dashboard, I can get insight from it very fast. I don't have to start sitting down and start analyzing and the rest. That's one of the attributes of good dashboard. Okay, for the total calls, how many calls do we get? So let's check our table again. So these are all calls. So if you have to count all these calls here, that's our total calls. So we can use for you to visualize a number like an aggregate total calls. We use CAD. This CAD. So note what I did there. I click on this visualization, this CAD, then I just want to call ID. This will count all the roll calls actually. I bring it here. Look at what it did. So what I want is I want you to count. Okay, count. So because this call ID is a text, is not a number. So when I dropped it here, when I dropped it on this field, so like I said, immediately you can click on these are visualizations. So for you to visualize numbers, actually probably an aggregate, the total calls or percentage, we use CAD. And for you, when you click on CAD, these are the fields this is now showing you, okay, these are the fields you need to put the data you have. So for us, what we want to do is we want to count the total calls, call ID. So because this is not a number, so what I want to do is I want to count it, count. So you're saying that when we counted it, we had 5,000 calls actually. So we can just format it, reduce this box, 5,000, just put it, like I said, we won't be doing this so much of, so we can edit these ones here, we can edit it. Look at, if you want to edit it, come down here, come to this second, so call out. So this one would edit the size of the numbers you have here. If you look at, if I say this is 30, it will turn into, it will reduce it. If I say this is 40, it will reduce it. That's for that. For label, this label, that's what is underneath. What is underneath this count ID? We saw here, this is the label, but we're still going to edit the label actually. So let's remove this count ID. Let's remove this is the total cost. We want to write the total cost. Let's take off this what we have here, category label. Let's take it off here, and there's this category label on. You can off it. We don't need it here. I want you to give it a title. So title, let me write title total cost. Total cost. So you can also edit this as much as you want to do it, total cost. Okay. So you can, it doesn't look right here, you can still come back. Come back to the title. You can say let's be in the middle. Yeah, this is fine. It's okay. We had a total of 5,000 calls. So now, out of the 5,000 calls, how many was answered? How many was not answered? Look at here. This is what shows us. This one shows us NY. That means yes. It means that we answered yes, and NY is no. So look at here. This is Y is yes, N means no. So how many of those calls did we answer? Let's still design this very well. Title properties. Okay, I think let's leave it like that. Okay, out of the 5,000 calls, how many calls did we answer? So how do we get the calls we answered? It's just yes or no that shows us. So that's when we now say, okay, we are going to do calculated. We are going to do calculated measure. We are going to calculate. Count how many yes do we have here, and how many no do we have here within this column here. So that's what we are going to do now to get the number of yes and to get the number of no's. To get the number of yes and to get the number of no, that's where calculated measure comes in. Calculated measure comes in. So for us to get the number of calls answered, you right click, come down to where your data is, right click and new measure. Like I said, there's calculated columns, you want to create new columns, there's calculated table, you want to create new tables, or there's calculated measure. Measure is more like you want an aggregate. You want to aggregate something. Aggregate. So what we want here is number of calls. Number of calls answered. Okay, let me show what happened now so that you can see. Okay, so when you say new measure, look at it, what are the calculator stuff. So when you open a Power BI and see this calculator, it means that it was not part of the data, we just calculated it. So measure is equal to, so you now can say number of calls, number of answered calls. Answered calls is equals to, so how do we separate? Now we want to count the number of one that said yes. So what we use to do that kind of filter is more like a filtering. Let's go back to this. We want to count the Y. The Y means yes, and we want to count the N. So let's go back to this. Okay. Oh, the measure, because we didn't calculate the measure, it's off here. So again, new measure. Well, so some introductory dashboard will not teach you measure, because that's more like when you're going at a little bit of not really advanced but intermediate. Well, I felt the need to not just do something easy. I want to teach you the core calculation within DAX, within Power BI, because if you are going to do anything, what in Power BI? In Power BI, you need a lot of DAX actually. So I said again, we didn't calculate the other one, so it went up. Number of answered calls is equals to count, because note that count, what do you want to count? Calculate is one of the most powerful the first thing you do is calculate. Calculate is one of the most powerful formula in Power BI. Calculate is more like, it's the same thing as filter. It's more like filtering, and you will understand now. Calculate. So count. Look at this. It's saying this is the expression. It means that I want you to give me the first expression. Then the next thing is give me the filter. Give me as much as things you want me to filter within the expression. Okay, like you understand now. Calculate, count. I want you to count everything within this column. This sheet, Power BI is intelligent to bring out the whole number of column you have. So the column I want to use is the Y and N, that the answer column. So I want to separate the one that said yes. I want to count the one that said yes. So count. So count the total yes, Y and N. That means count the total yes or no. Okay, close the count column. Yes. Okay. Then I now want you to filter. I want you to filter the Y. After you count within the count, I want you to filter the Y, which is the answer, which is, I will not say sheet. This is equals to, I'll put it in column Y, and I'll close this. So what is this saying? It's saying that calculate is more like field. It's more like the, I told you, is the most powerful, one of the most powerful formula in DAX. So it's used to filter as much as majorly are using it to filter. So count. I want you to count everything in this column, everything, and I want you, when you count it, the number you get here, filter. I want you to filter it by the yes, which is the Y. That means that if I counted this and I got 50, so out of the 50, which one is Y? Which one is Y there? Which one is yes? If Y is out of 50 is 20, then give me the 20. It will give me out the 20. I hope you understood that. Oh, okay. Okay, close. Okay. Have I done that? Okay. It's telling me this number of calls. Let's use this one. Also, we didn't finish calculating this one. Let's make it. It was the first one. We wanted to calculate, we didn't finish it. Okay. So look at this. Like I told you, this calculator means that it was not part. We just is a measure. We just calculated it. Okay. So for us to see what we calculated, we use, like I said, if you want to show numbers or anything, you use cards. So we take the number here, we bring it there. We take the number. So it's telling us that we answered 450, be 4,054 calls. That's the total number of calls we answered. Again, let me explain this measure we calculated. We click new measure and we use calculate. So we want to know the number of calls we answered. For us to know the number of calls the number of calls is in this column here. The column contains N and Y. The N means yes, the Y means no. That means we didn't answer the call. So if we want to get the number of calls we answer, we have to calculate, we have to count everything that is there, and now filter out the yes, the Y, which is the yes. So that's what we did here in this measure here. We used calculate to filter it out. Calculate, we counted the whole column. So when we counted the whole column, then we now filter out the one that is yes out of it. I hope you understand. Okay, that's the number of calls we answered. Let's take it back. Number of calls. Yep. No, this table. So we did it, yeah. Okay, so we can also do the editing we did here. We come here, we remove the category. Most times I don't like using the category. We take it off. And we can also edit it. We can edit it, but the easiest way, if you have done one editing on one card, you can just copy format and paste it here. It will automatically do it. Let's add in the title, which is answered calls. Answered calls. So this is showing us the number of calls that was answered. Hope you got it. Hope you got it. Hope you got it. So you saw that. So again, let's look at out of the calls we answered, how many did we resolve? How many of the calls that we answered did we resolve? Actually, again, we calculate, we use. So for us to know the resolve, this is the one that says, this is the column that shows us that this was resolved or not. Y means, no means we didn't resolve it. Y means that we resolved it. So same thing we did when we got this measure, new measure, number of resolved calls. So this is showing us, okay, how many of the calls that we answered was resolved. Again, we use calculate. We want to count the total, count the resolved column. We want to count everything. Okay, count for me. Then when you finish counting, give me the number out of what you've counted. Give me the number of the one that says yes, which is the one that we resolve. We look for the column of column resolved is equals to is equals to y, which is yes. Note that the y we are using is because y is used in the data. If it was yes that was in the data, we type is equals to yes. Okay, let's see what we just did. Let's see what we just did. Card. Put in the card there. Number of results, bring it here. So it's saying that we received 5,000 calls came in. We answered 4,054. We resolved 3,646. That's what is saying we resolved. Again, we can edit this. So we can just copy format painting and we just add it here. Automatically, we just add it so that you don't just keep doing the same thing. We add the title resolved calls. Okay, so that's that on that. So we are moving on gradually. We are coasting. We are getting what we want. Okay, so again, let's check the number of calls. Since we had number of unresolved calls, for us to see unresolved calls, just the same way we did number of resolved calls, we can do number of unresolved calls. This is just to, I'll do this so that I can just move on, but I'll do this so that I can reinforce how to do this in the measure new measure. We want to do number of unresolved calls, number of unresolved calls. So we do calculate again. Count. So we want to count the resolved, close that bracket. And so when you count everything, I want you to give me the number of the one that says no, which is unresolved calls. Actually, so I say I look for the column, and the column which is resolved is equals to n, which stands for not resolved. Again, yep. So let's open the card. There's the card. Number of unresolved calls. Yep. So we resolved 364, and we we resolve this and we didn't resolve this. We didn't resolve this amount. So again, I can just copy this one and paste it here and edit unresolved calls. I did a title, can play around the unresolved calls, resolved calls, Okay. So unresolved calls. So we can do some, let's do a little bit of editing to the background. There's a background for it. So unresolved calls. So I'm just doing a little bit of editing. I can just copy the paint, add it here to take out this also. Okay, again, I can copy the paint, add it here. It does the same thing. So I just trying to copy, paste it here. So just doing some alignment. The alignment doesn't matter a lot. So at a glance, I can see how many calls. So, but let's do percentage. What's the percentage of the number of calls answered to number of calls resolved? So how do we get that? How do we get that percentage? Number of calls answered and number of calls resolved. So the best thing how to get that is just divide the total number of calls of what's received and divided by total number of what's resolved over resolved calls over answered calls times 100. That should give us the percentage of calls resolved. So let's do that calculation. Let's do the calculation. So new measure. Now we're going percentage, new measure, divide. So what do we want to divide? The measure we've calculated before, number of calls. Number of calls, number of results. Oh boy. So give me a minute. Just a minute, few minutes. Okay, thank you. Want to calculate the percentage of calls resolved. So how do you get that? The number of calls resolved. Calls resolved. No. Sorry, I didn't. That's percentage of resolved calls. So I divide the number, what's the numerator, resolved calls. number of resolved calls. What's the denominator? That's the answered call. Answered call. So because it's a percentage, make sure your column is on it. You can see it's on it. You put the percentage, turn into a percentage, and you just want it to be just 0. So let's see what we got. Let's see the percentage of resolved calls. The percentage of the first call. We still use card. S on it. So they're saying 90% of the calls answered were resolved. So look at it here. We can work on it. See. So just use it. That's it. You just keep editing to suit like only time while you change some things that go on. Let's just use it. Okay, so let's not just waste time. So at least can. So 90% of the calls we answered were resolved. So not so bad of our call center. A good report. Good reports. I'm trying to see. Okay, a good report. So let's move on. Moving on so fast. So again, this is so an overall gives us an overall of our data. So our supervisor can just look at it and just see that, yep, this is exactly what I need to see at first glance. Again, okay, let's not look at our call agents. So our call agent, let's see the number of calls they received, and the best way to see these things, one of the things you must note is I actually prepared a note for it. I actually prepared a note for this how to choose a chat, and let me see. So one of the things you must learn is actually how to choose a chart in data visualization. So you use the right appropriate chart actually. So I prepared a note for it. I can turn it into a PDF and share with everyone. Actually very important, very, very important. We will get back to our visualization design. Actually, landed on 8:30. That's exactly 2 hours. So, but I felt the need. I wanted to explain that one of the things you must know is how to choose a a chart for your dashboard. Actually, a chart for your dashboard. So I'm trying to get where I designed a chart this was why when you use this, when you use a bar chart, when you use a column chart, so still loading my system. I'm going to show you now. Okay, so let me stop this share and share this again. So, like you know me, I don't want to gloss through things and just move on. I want to show the chat presentation. So when do you choose this and that? So I took them one by one, line charts, when to use line charts, bar charts, and pie charts. So I'm going to send this as PDF, which is something you can, it's even more than this. I updated this, which is something I'm going to send this as PDF for able to send to everyone, which you can use to choose when you're designing your dashboard actually. So again, let's go back to our dashboard. I needed to show that so that when designing your dashboard, you can know what to choose. Few seconds. Okay. I'm trying to share my dashboard they are building. Okay. All right. Share. Okay. You can use calculated measures to calculate total calls, answered calls, result calls, and the percentage of result calls. Percentage of result calls. Let's try to let's try to percentage of result calls. Percentage. So there are better ways to do this. So this is just saying that 90% of the calls answered were results, which is a good start actually. So we use a calculated measure to get this. Let's move on. So we want to see things per call agents. So this way is the table, and that's why I had to fall back to the notes I prepared in terms of choosing a chart. Choosing a chart itself is something you must learn to do. Table. So the table, more like you just want to see. We want to see the records of each call agent. Okay, we've seen a total overview of this is an overview, which I said is one of the things you must learn to do so that you can give your manager a very, very fast. You can see it and get the inside out of it. So now, how do we get? We want to see for each call agent. So like we take our agents, check out the agents. You can just click it. to figure out all our agents in one row. Look at these are agents in a row, agents in a row. So an agent in a row. Let's get the total calls this agent answered. The total calls they answered. Let's get the total calls this agent answered. We just number of calls. Okay, number of calls. We just use the number of answered calls. We take it under. Okay, this shows us the total calls this guy answered. So Becky answered 501 call. Dan answered 523, and so Joel has answered the lowest. Again, that's the no. Okay, it's not to answer number of call the result. We are still going to use the measure we calculated, number of result calls. We take it down underneath. So that's good. This person answered, Becky answered on 517 calls. She resolved 400. Let's check it in percentage. What percentage of calls these people answered? We already do the calculation of answer calls. So Becky answered 89% of the calls. So we can see that Greg is the guy. Greg answered 91% of resolved 91% of the calls he answered. You can see this insight very, very fast. So as the manager, I just see that, oh, Greg did well. Greg is the highest guys for this duration of data we're giving, and boom, that is something actually. So we can edit our table. You can remove the columns. You can increase the columns as much as you can, and increase the columns, and do many things you want to do. So there are many other things we can see from this table. Okay, so let's look the ratings. We have ratings here. Part of the data we're giving ratings. Let's see our ratings. How these guys, it's not enough to resolve a call. Let's see, was it a good call from the customer perspective? Let's see the ratings actually. Let's take it down. The ratings, satisfaction ratings. Okay, the rating numbers, but let's see them in percentage. Just kind of see them in percentage. I just click on this, and this is some standard mean show us percentage of done. Okay, so this is the percentage of done time. So in ratings, so I'm trying to, let's do our ratings. Okay, let's use average. I think average is still the best way to average. No, let's cancel it again. Okay, so let's do the rating again, and let's use the average. The average rating for each of our guys. Average. This one, like this is telling us the sum. Look at this. I click on this arrow down. This is the sum. The sum. We're looking for average. Okay, so we saw that Dan has the highest ratings actually, 3.45. They are more like, no, it's not Dan. Marta has the highest rating. So this is my dashboard already. So I can edit it. I can do as much editing I can do to it. I can edit the style. I can change it to bold header. You can see I can edit it, like I can remove the total away. total. I can switch it off. I don't need the total. Switch total off, and bam, I have my number of calls they answered, number of the result, the percentage of calls they received, the average ratings. That's my dashboard. You can adjust it as much as you can. Adjust it. So again, I can also do let me see an average. What's the average time or speed we use to answer call? And what's the average call duration? So what's the average what's the average speed of answer, and what's the average call? Because sometimes some of the ratings we get in customer services, how fast do we answer calls? How fast do we answer calls, which is something actually. Let's move this aside. Okay, thank you. Let's move this. Okay, yes. This is we have in our data the speed of answer. They already give us the speed of answer. So I can just create a new sheet, and I click on the speed of answer. Take the speed of answer here. So because check our table here. I'm not showing it. All right. So this look at, just click down on this. This is summing it up. What we are looking at is the average. This average you're looking for, not the summation average. So it's saying that it takes us 67 seconds, which is about 1 minute, and 1 minute and 1 minute and some seconds actually. It's taking us 67 seconds to pick a call, which is not that bad, which is absolutely not bad. Well, it depends on the area. It depends on the area that we are. It depends on the industry. Some industry 1 minute is not fine. Some industry 1 minute is too long. So if we can do this, like I said, you can just copy this page, add it here. You can add title to it. Title average answer time in seconds. Average speed of answer. Seconds. Let's know so that people don't get confused. Seconds. So this is the average answer time. 67.52 seconds. That's a time used in. So we can just put that here. So again, let's look at duration. How long do we talk with our customer? This can be an insight, giving you an insight. How long do we talk to our customer? Again, that's giving us, we have it in our data, average talk duration, but we must know average talk duration that should be in minutes. Okay, average call duration in minutes. So that's a minute. Card, like I told you, if you just visualizing numbers, we use a card. We bring in our average talk time, we bring in our data, then this is summation. Average talk time is not a calendar. Sorry. To do some. Let's take it out. You are not seeing. Okay. So our talk time has the date and also has the date and the time, which is we just need the time only, and that would the process of having to so let's see how we come in and see how So talk duration a minute. All right. So, well, we can do that calculation much later. I don't want us to spend. And what we'll do, what I'm going to do is just separate it from the time, and our time is fast spent to move on from there. So again, so we move on very fast from there. So what is the next thing? Like I said, the first thing you must do is you must have designed what you want to. So you're not just thinking on what you want to do now. You already have your design in a blank sheet already. The only thing you just need to do is just keep designing it on Power BI. So we want to check what's the core volume per weekday. Per weekday, what's the core let's just check the customer satisfaction. Let's check the customer satisfaction. Let's check the customer satisfaction. Again, to check the customer satisfaction, we are going to use a pie chart. So we click on our pie chart, look at pie chart here. We put our satisfaction into the value. And we also put it into the ledger now, actually. So okay, so this is saying, so different ratings, we can actually edit the ratings. If you check this showing here, the ratings here is just in numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like we know, the fifth column shows that the fifth column shows that very satisfied. I'm trying to see satisfaction rate. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's do something here. Let's work on, if you look at this chart now, because of our data here just shows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our supervisor, anybody seeing this chart might not even understand what 1 to 5 means. You might not understand the rating. Probably, are you saying 5 is I'm happy, I'm satisfied, or 1 is I'm satisfied? So let's go back and name 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's name them. Is 1 satisfactory? Is 5 satisfactory, and the rest? So again, like I told you, I mentioned something like calculated columns. That means you're adding new columns to it. It might be calculation or it might just be text. We can go to Power BI and we can actually go to our Power BI and our Power Query. Like I said, if you want to go back to Power Query and some data, let's go back to some data. Let's go back to our Power Query. Okay. Yes, we're back to our Power Query. So now, look at this rating now. We want to turn this rating. We want to create a new column that shows us what this rating really is. 3 is this satisfied? 1 is I'm satisfied or not. 5 is very satisfied. So we use the rating we want to do. Okay. So how do we do it? We say add the column, conditional column. Conditional column. There's many ways you can do, but let's use conditional column. So you're saying, what's the name of the column? What's the name of the new column? Satisfaction ID. Let's just say that if my satisfaction rating equals to 1, and what should you bring on bad? Let's just use bad. That means it's bad. Can add if my satisfaction rating equals to 2. say fair. Fair. Add a clause. If my satisfactory rating equals to 3, say good. I'm just using any example here. If is equals to 4, if my satisfactory rating equals to 4, very good. Very good. If my satisfactory rating, you can just add the last one, excellent. Going to have since you just check the last one, 5 is excellent. Excellent and okay. Okay. All right. You can see what happened here. A new column came in. You added a new column, and so 3 good, 2 fair, 4 very good. No. Okay, we didn't put in for no. Okay, that's okay. Let's edit this. Let's get it is channel. Okay. So there's a way I can edit this here. So what happened is that because of there's a no, and we said the rest should be excellent. No, that was not what we should have done. I just said else if 18 is equals to, let's change it. Copy. Well, you don't need this one. Equals to 5. Then excellent. Then excellent. Coming. Better still we just do it again so that we don't confuse ourselves with this so much. Let's do it. Want to name this new conditional formatting ID. Practice. Action ID, 18 ID, so that we are just fast. If this is equals to 1, but if is equals to 2 is equals to 2, say or fair. So I want to be fast about this. So plus 3. But say good plus 2. Say very good. No, just like to jump. Very good. If this is equals to, if this is equals to 5, say excellent. 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 So okay. So again, we created a new column using this so that we can be able to name our visualization. Close and apply. Okay. So now still loading. Okay, let me do. Okay, I think of. Okay. So now we remove this one. Legend is, you know what legend is actually. So we bring our rating into here. So for us to divide it, we use our rating ID we just created. Now you can see it now. So it's saying that, yeah, 34% of the people said our service is very good, which is no is very good. Yes, 30% said that. Two people, 4% said 26% said our service is good. So again, you can just copy what you have here to rating. So you can just edit this title. So title. Title. Rating. So this is our pattern rating for us. Yeah. So so this is just a you can put this here. You can do your alignment much later. This is the rating. We can do our call per week. So there's so much. Okay, but let's do something, which is one thing. We can slice. We can, because that's what we call dynamic dashboard. That means that we can slice this thing. We can filter this thing by just one thing, and this is the filterable thing. This one here, slicer. Can bring it out. So we can slice this thing by dates. Let's put the date here. Date here. Slicer dates. Or let's do the hierarchy. Let's slice it by months. I just want the months only. Months. So I'm saying that okay, for January, I want to see the total cost for January. Look at what happened. Everything changed. For January, we had 1,700 something calls. For February, how many calls? For March, so you can slice by as anything you want to slice with. So we didn't have any call in March. We didn't have any call in May. For June, we didn't have. For July, we didn't have. So all our calls are basically just from January, February, March, and if we didn't have anything. So that's our calls came in. This is just a test for January to February and March. Okay, you can filter by anything you want to filter by. So you can just put in the filter here. You can change this filter to drop down. That means I can drop it down and say for January. So give me the cost, raw cost for January. For January, Dan answered 190 calls. The result 177. We had 99%. Is getting like this and that. So this is just a brief. This is just a brief dashboard. You can do a lot. Yeah, they are arranging it, doing a lot of things. But one of the things I want you to edit, and which is something you should know. That's for you should be a good dashboard, especially Power BI. You must learn your DAX, and that's where we calculated this. It was calculated measures. Anything you see this calculator here, we calculated the number of calls, number of result calls, number of one result calls, number percentage of calls. So you can do, if you're working with the sales data, you can do profit, you divide as much as you can divide, you can profit within a month, and there's so much you can visualize actually. I hope this is almost an hour, 2-hour class. So I'm going to send you the PDF format of chart and when to use them, how to use them and their uses. That would help you design a dashboard. So I would say this is the end of our data visualization class. And one of the key things I hope we learn is DAX, and also how to impute your data into any of the chart you want to use. Let's do a bar chart. Let's use a bar chart actually. Let's do a bar chart. So we want to see for the month. Okay, I want to see. So the number of calls we receive, the values, number of calls. How do we want to split it per month? Let's use month. Let's use month. So January, let's remove this filter. I'll just remove this filter. Let's remove it out. So, okay. Of course. So it's more like the same thing as the calls are. So I'm more like having the same number of calls. This is a percentage of, sorry. Total number of calls answered. That's what I wanted. So you're saying that for January we answered 144 calls. For February or March, and also copy this one here. Number of calls by month. And see, let's take this slicer. So, yeah, without further ado, I saw that we didn't just jump pack 20. Everything we put into this dashboard was saying something to my manager or something or someone. So, without further ado, that will be the end of our data visualization class and also master class. I hope you go back to some of the things we've learned, and the videos, when you're like, I'm still open my emails to you and contact or Toby through me, and this is come to the end of my own part of journey. Still open for any questions. I'll send the necessary document that you think will help you. Thank you so much for the time.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Hello, bro Emmanuel. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, sir. Please confirm you can hear me.
Very clearly, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you clearly.
Hello, bro Emmanuel.
Hello, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Oh, is it my network?
Okay. Yes, I can. I guess my network is. Hello, sir.
Hello. Yes, I can hear you. If you can hear me, I just sent you a message.
Okay, I guess it's a network issue.
Yes.
So thank you so much. Thank you so much for the great effort. A lot has really been shared, and my encouragement to all participants watching this is just to practice as much as possible. And as I earlier stated, Bro Emmanuel is still very much around, and wonderfully, every one of us on this call, we are feeding from likely from the same desk. I don't really know about Happiness if she's a member of tech, but I know Sister Tolu and Baba Midele, we are in the same fold as such, and I'm aware that Happiness is also someone known by Bro Emmanuel, so it makes it easier for us to reach out. So we are one big family, and none of us should be behind when it comes to certain level of skills. So that is why we made this available. There will be another edition of this data analysis class. We are planning even for a physical class in the weeks ahead. that will run for maybe 2 to 3 days as such somewhere here in Lagos. Because when we launched this, some people reached out and they were like, is it physical? They would have preferred a physical class as such. So, of course, people have their preferences. I know how many things I've learned this year from the comfort of my room. So, nevertheless, we are working at that just to meet the demand of potential, customers. So, thank you everyone for being part of this. Our certificate will be communicated to us in the course of this new week by the grace of God. So, thank you so much. Please let's endeavor to watch. Of course, the certificate is a certificate of achievement for the fact that we believe you have joined and you will watch this video. Nevertheless, as I keep telling people, the certificate is good, but the major thing is the content, your ability to do something. So you can imagine our trainer now, everything he has taught us right from his head, it shows he knows what he knows. And if anybody wakes Emmanuel up now to come and analyze the data, you don't need to make reference to anything. And that's just the way it should be. You understand? So I encourage us to maximize this a lot. The actual fact is, what we paid for this training, people pay, some pay times 10 of it to learn the same thing you have learned.
Sincerely, and they didn't even get to, because I spoke with a friend also in church, and she saw my post on my WhatsApp,
Okay.
and she said she paid 300K. I know someone who told me personally, said another person said they paid 250K. And I asked them, what have you been taught, basically? I say, within just 700, nobody can teach you these things within this time. The fact that, and after paying 300K, you still want to teach the basic of SQL. So it's so much
yes,
value.
That's the thing. If the actual fact is, nobody will teach you to become an expert. They will only give you, they will only teach you the principles, and the goal is go ahead and practice to become perfect. So the same thing you have learned here is what you will go and pay hundreds of thousands for to learn. And you might not even learn up to what you have learned here. That's one thing about all these trainings. You get, because it's about value communication. The next one that is coming, of course, will be far much expensive than this. And bro, Emmanuel is part of the team already, because by reviewing some of the videos, I see the quality of your teaching and how well you know these things. So it's something much more bigger, because I realize that when you put a small price on training, people tend to despise the content. That's the truth. So when you put up a training out and you call it 500K, 300K, you put, something heavy is coming from this training. Exactly. However, yes, it's a marketing tool. The actual fact is that I've attended an advanced Microsoft Excel training before, then that my company paid over 50K for. That was about 3 years ago. If I tell you that training did not give me 30% of the current skills that I have in Microsoft Excel, I'm telling you, a lot of it came from personal study, virtual trainings, and the likes, that I did myself. So why we are saying this is everything you need to build on has been given. Whether SQL, I never knew anything about SQL before until I was in your class, Bro Emmanuel, last week. Even my wife, peeped into it. I was like, so this is how this thing looks like. Until you see it, you think it's very difficult. That's the sincere truth. So we've been taught pivot tables, we've been taught Power Query, we've been taught Power BI, SQL. Those are data analytics too. That's a fact. And even Excel on a much more, analytical, at least all you need as an analyst to thrive in Microsoft Excel. So a lot has been shared, and thank you so much, Bro Emmanuel. As I said, we are planning for a bigger platform, and you'll be part of the key stakeholder. So we appreciate this. Of course, what we have paid you is just compared to the skills you shared with us. That's the fact. But we're excited that we were able to achieve this within these 5 weeks, and at least people has been imparted. Is a plus to the traction we are trying to build, and we hope strongly that everyone that has joined this will make good use of it, so that in the future you look back and say, yeah, thank God I attended Bro Emmanuel's class. Thank God Zillion Edge held this class and made it accessible for us at a convenient, time and amount and all that. So thank you so much. At this junction, we'll call it a night and a class. Let me put it
exactly.
call it a night and a class. So we'll keep in touch definitely. Subsequent editions, as I said the last time, that the fact that we extended this, by some weeks, owing to delay and all that, already give every one of us bonus to attend some of our subsequent virtual classes. So that will be communicated to us via our emails when those courses are released. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Do have a very pleasant night rest and week. My regards to your wife, Emmanuel. Thank you.
Yeah. I will send my regards. Thank you so much, sir.